and gentlemen, it's the #1 Pokemon YouTuber on the planet. Nostalgia. Bong hits. Come on! Welcome back, everyone. We have a lot to cover today. Try to keep up. Welcome back. It's Nostalgia News. The #1 news station on the planet. Nostalgia News. So today, we have a list. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. All right, look at this, everyone. Look, this is my accomplishment list. We're going to go over today the history of the Nostalgia Bong Hits channel and why no other YouTuber ever will come close. They will not even Rudy. I even challenge Rudy, the greatest Pokemon scalper ever. I challenge them all. Today we're going to go over this list of accomplishments. And we've done this before, but I've never actually went over my channel's full history and went back and really thought about everything I've said to buy on the channel. So we're going to do that today. And I'm going to answer a few questions on why I am selling Pokemon. And, yeah, we're going to go over a lot today, so try to keep up. So today we're just going to go over the list of everything I've said to buy and everything I've said not to buy. And it's actually way crazier than I thought it is. There are no YouTubers that have a list like this. So we're going to start off with Southern Islands Mew Box. We said to buy at 10,000. It's 17 grand. I know I said that in my last video, but we said to buy Team Up at 8,000. It's now pretty close to 15 grand. We said to buy Ancient Origins at 1,200. It's now over 7 grand. I bought it at 1,200. I think I told people to buy it at 3. So to be fair, but still, that's disgusting. Obsidian Flames, just these accomplishments, just these 3 boxes would beat every Pokemon YouTuber out there for the most part. Okay. Obsidian Flames, PCTBs. I said to buy them back when they dipped at 350. They're now over 800 today. I think that's where they're at, $700. Lugia V Old Art, I said to buy at $750 and a PSA 10. It's now $1,500. Holland Phantoms booster boxes, I said to buy at $40,000. They're now at least $140,000, if not $200K by now. First edition Neo booster boxes, I said to buy at $40K. They're now $200K. And I told you to buy loose booster packs of it. It doesn't really matter that you would make money. And well, you made a lot of money. Evolving Skies ETBs, when they dipped from 400 to 280, I said to pick them up. They're now 600. Venusaur Blastoise from 151 at 70, I said to buy. They're now 160. Prismatic SPCs, I said to buy at 160. They're now 250. They were 400 if you sold one I told you to sell. Prismatic PCTBs, I said to buy at 170. They're now pretty much $500. Holland Phantoms Pikachu, I said to buy at $40,000. I said to buy it at $125,000. It's now $300,000 fucking dollars. And on the rise. Fusion Strike, PCTB cases, I said to buy at $1,500. We're now at $3,000. Greninja SIR, I said to buy at $750. We're now at $1,000. I think that's where that card's at in the PSA 10 range. I haven't checked. 151 UPCs, I said to buy at $80. They're now $1,000, which to be fair, I'm not going to give myself credit for that because I did say to sell 151 UPCs at $400 or $500. So I'm not going to give myself full credit for 151. I will admit 151 was my very rare blunder But at the same time, I was saying to buy Blooming Waters at 150. It's now 350. Zenithia and Skyboxes said to buy 150. They're now 350. And Lance's Charizard boxes, I bought a ton of them at 20. We're at 180. So that's my list. And there's a few things I left out on there, I know. Like Squirtle from Stellar Crown was saying to buy it at $50. I think it's over 120 or something like that. There's a lot of other things, but like, this is why no other Pokemon channel can compete with this. Like, I want to make this very clear that even if your subscribers cannot afford them, it's very important as a Pokemon YouTuber that you make a statement of your beliefs on everything, not just what people can afford, but what makes the most money. Taking the bold stance and risking your channel's reputation of complete utter failure because you know that product is undervalued. And I mean, like the Holland Fans booster box alone, you would have made $160K if you listened. First edition Neo, you'd have made $160K. I mean, there really gets to be a point where I call myself the greatest Pokemon YouTube channel on the planet. And I think I very well earned that. Because I would argue no Pokemon YouTuber even goes over half of these things. Especially like Southern Islands Mew boxes. They don't even talk about them. I've said this before. And even that, you made $7,000 in like a couple weeks, man. I mean, I've went over all ranges of Pokemon products, and that is what every Pokemon channel should do. You should state your beliefs on everything, you know? Not everything, but the big ticket items that you scope out that you think are going to make a lot of money. Okay? Not just saying, hey, buy Prismatic SPCs or buy, you know, some card or something. That you should state what you think are good deals. Like Team Up for $8,000. Why has no YouTuber talked about Team Up at $8,000 saying, I think that's a good buy. I think that's a good price. And you've doubled your money if you bought it. It's stating your views. It's putting your reputation of your channel on the line. And you're, because you know you're right. That's the difference between this channel and every other channel out there. And no one else does this. Like, I've put my channel's reputation and my knowledge on the line across the board. And it has been very successful. And I would understand if I gave you guys a bunch of shit that lost money. You know? Like, if I got this stuff right, and I gave you, like, 30 other things, though, that didn't make money. You know what I mean? Then I would be like, okay, you're just shooting in the dark at everything. But there gets to be a point where you realize who knows what the fuck they're talking about and who doesn't. And clearly, if this isn't a big enough picture for you that I know what the fuck I'm talking about better than any other Pokemon channel out there, I don't know what else to tell you. Go watch these other YouTubers then. Okay? Now, the next thing I want to cover over is why I think now is a good time to sell a lot of these things that you've got the gains on if you listen to this channel. Because the gains were so fucking good. And you should probably take them. Because we don't know what's going to happen with this new printing facility. It's very uncertain. And I'm not saying it will crash the market, but I'm just saying it's kind of scary. That if you've gotten, you know, if you listen to my advice and bought First Edition Neo for $40,000 a booster box, and you can get $200K for it, you should take it. Will it go to $300K? Maybe. But you should take it. You should take a lot of these gains. Because they're good. And my point And yeah, I like what John Doe said. I agree with a lot of takes this man says. I have to meet you in person sometime, man, because I really enjoy how this guy thinks. He thinks how I think. And I like that. I like when people think how I think. That, that's we may think the Pokemon market's not doing that great, but that's why we stay diversified. I love hearing that. That's the whole fucking point of my channel. Is staying diversified. Moving from one thing to the next when it's time to leave. Pokemon's kind of like an ex-girlfriend that it's like, okay, it was fun for a while, but now the pussy's kind of beat. I'm out. You know what I mean? And Pokemon's kind of the same way. Of like, it's just, sometimes it's just time to leave. And I'm starting to think that's really where we're at on most of this stuff. It has had great runs. You made a ton of money. And I know a lot of you feel euphoric. And that's the mistake most investors make. Is you get your good gains and you think it will last forever. It doesn't work like that. It does not last forever in a lot of cases. And I do agree that it's not a bad idea having a foot in Pokemon. Okay, I'm not saying that you're stupid if you have your foot in Pokemon, but I am going to argue this point that if you believe that silver will rocket from $90, $70 to $1,000. And by 2029, I want to break this down because Funk did say to me, I don't know why you're selling any Pokemon right now. And I want to break it down of why. I don't need the money. Okay? But at the same time, you have to really think about this. So I'm going to do an analogy for a lot of you. And this was hard for me to understand too, because I really had to throw my greed to the side for this one. That, let's say we all believe Fusion Strike's going to be a $5,000 booster box by 2029. Now that is a tall order to ask. That's still a 5x gain after this box has already ran up 10x. Okay, so you're asking another 5x gain on top of that in the next 3 years. Okay? Now, if you believe silver's going to 10x by 2029, which I do, and I very well put my reputation on the line on this one, and I mean, it will do one of two things. Either everybody thinks I'm stupid as hell, or I'll be right as hell, like always, and shit on all of you. I mean, it is what it is. It'll be one of the two. But if you believe silver's going to run from $70 to over $1,000, that is it, by 2029. And there's a very high possibility of that happening. I know a lot of you think I'm crazy, but the markets are made up. Like the stock markets, the bond markets, these have all been like brutally manipulated. That this is not going to be like this forever. Okay, like I don't know what else to tell people. Don't believe me. I don't care. Like I said before, I don't give a shit. Don't believe me. But if you would have believed me, you would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I don't know when you want to make money. Whenever you want to make money, just start listening. Now, if we believe Fusion's going to be $5,000, which is a very tall order, I'm not going to lie. I think silver will hit 1,000 before I think Fusion Strike will hit 5,000. I'm not going to lie on this one. Now, you have to compare the numbers in your mind, because it's very hard for me to sell my Fusion too. I've held it for a long time. I've made a lot of money on it. But I really had to put it in my mind of, what do I think is going to make more money? I really had to narrow it down to what I think is going to make more money. Now, and you have to look at Pokemon as like a lemon. It's been squeezed. It's been squeezed hard. Look at these numbers. It's been squeezed very hard. That how much juice is left? None of us know how much juice is left in this lemon. But we can definitely tell it's been squeezed pretty fucking hard. And we have to ask ourselves, is there more juice? There possibly is. Pokemon has had tons of juice. So, everybody assumes and they get under the juice tree and they wait for their juice. And you have to ask yourself, is there more juice? And I'm telling you to go to the new tree that there's been hardly any juice squeezed out of. Yes, has silver 70x since its beginning? Sure. But it's still like fresh. Like it's still a fresh tree. Like Prismatics SPCs, when it was at 160, it was like a fresh tree. So that was why I said to buy them, in the PCTBs, because I'm like, that's a fresh tree. It's still got some juice. So my point is, if you think silver's going to hit $1,000, why would you want to hold any Pokemon? Like, you have to think about it that way. I don't know any way else to say it. Why would you hold it? Now, I will say, I agree. So don't fucking grill me in the comments. To be diversified. That I understand. Because diversification is part of survival. So I'm not going to tell you to sell your Fusion Strike booster boxes or sell these things. But I'm also going to warn you, as a good friend should, that if Fusion Strike hits $5,000, that's a 5x gain. That you gained 5x, which is good in 3 years. But that's a great gain, man. It is. So you don't want to sell it at 1,000. I get it. But at the same time, if you think silver is going to 10x, you have to really think about it. $1,000 would buy you what? About 15 ounces of silver. And if it hits 1,000, that's $15,000. So your Fusion at $5,000, which we think is, it'd be a heck of a run if for Fusion to go to 5K. Be a heck of a run, possible. But if silver 10x's, you have 15K instead of 5K. So you have to look at it that way. Now, am I saying sell all of your Pokemon and run into silver? Yes. But, no, at the same time. Because you should be diversified. The purpose of this video, honestly, is saying to be diversified. That if you have cases and cases and cases and cases of Fusion Strike or any other set, that you should sell some and diversify some of it into silver. Is the whole point of what I'm saying. That you should not be all in on Pokemon. You should not be all in on silver either. You should have a respectable, balanced portfolio. Because that is your survival. To be diversified. Exactly what John said. To be diversified. And then ask yourself, though, do I really want to wait around for Fusion Strike to hit $5,000? And get a 5x gain? And it might not even happen? Or do I want to stick with what I think I know and get a 10x gain and probably be a lot safer in silver? That's what you have to ask yourself. And that is how you survive, is being diversified. Not throwing all of your eggs into one basket. I feel like, I don't know all of you, but I feel like a lot of you are not diversified. That you are all in on Pokemon. And I'm telling you, that is not a healthy idea to be all in on Pokemon. I'm telling you right now, that is not a good idea. It's not safe. That you should have a backup plan. And physical silver is a good backup plan. You're becoming your own bank. Why do you think JP Morgan is holding 750 million ounces of silver and not 750 million boxes of Evolving Skies? Because they know the game. They know the game better than you do. So, as crazy as all of you may think I sound, be diversified. And hey, maybe silver goes down. I don't know. But there's a hell of a damn good chance it's going to skyrocket. So be diversified. Have diversification. Look at my portfolio. It's real estate, Pokemon, silver. It's everything. So you're diversified. That if one goes down, the other thing can save you. And like I said with these printing facilities, it is scary. Like, we have seen a drop in everything. Besides the vintage and a lot of this expensive stuff that I've listed off, that's been pretty safe. But as far as modern goes, we have seen a mega cool off. Like Destined Rivals dropped back down to the 4s. Everyone said it's going to $1,000. So many channels. I don't know. It's not looking good to me. But we've seen a pretty drastic cool off, man. A lot of the smart money, I think, is leaving Pokemon and jumping into the metals. Because they just see the obvious picture, man. Like, I'm that way too. Like, I see the bond market breaking. I see the currencies collapsing. And I know how the game ends when the music stops. That this is why I'm very diversified into physical silver and gold and not just Pokemon. That if you've gotten some of these crazy gains, it's maybe time to consider selling and diversifying your portfolio. You've made good gains. So what if you don't get the next 30% that it goes up? Like 151 UBCs. So what? If you sell them at $900 and they go to $1,500 and you look stupid. Over the next 2 years. It takes 2 years for them to recover. But your silver 10x'd. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stick in these products forever. The lemon only has so much juice before it is completely squeezed. And a lot of these things are dump, sell, not buy. You're at the tops on a lot of it. Now, I still do believe in Southern Islands Mew boxes. I still believe in Team Up. But a lot of this stuff has been pretty well squeezed. And it's time to harvest your gains and move on. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know any YouTuber that beats that track record, though. Hope you enjoyed it. We're out.